Hello? Can anyone around here speak basketball?
There it is.
It's the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast.
Trust in the side. Welcome to the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast. I am your host, Freddie Rivas. And who, sir, with the wonderful Raptors hoodie are you?
I am your producer, Freddie. How you doing? Coming live from the Roselands.
Baby, coming from the Roselands. Shout out Jane and Egg. I'm in my new place. I'm doing good. If you are tuning into this pod for the first time or coming back, we are a Raptors / NBA pod. We're comedians and, commercial actors. And
Yes.
I wasn't sure what else we are, but we're a lot of things. Okay. But yeah, this is
We dabble.
We dabble. This is a fun pod. We have analysts on too sometimes, and we just go hard. And we're hardcore fans. So thank you so much for joining us. And like all pods, we really can use all the support we can get. It kind of helps us carry on. So if you want to help us in any way, Matt, take it away. How can you do that?
You can go to dunkspodcast.com if you'd like to see our website. You can listen to the episodes there. I will also say in the show notes, you can click on the guests' names if you want to easily click on their social media handles and stuff, and as well see other episodes they've done at the Sonar Network with us and other podcast shows there. So it's kind of cool. It kind of clumps them all together and shows, just how many, get their different opinions that they've had through the years on our show. Because, most of our guests have been repeating for some time. And, please go check out our Patreon. If you can chip in a couple bucks here or $4 here, we really appreciate it. We're spending a lot of money now on celebrity cameos to give some intros and stuff. Seems to be a really smart and important business model for most podcasts. If you can get the celebrity shout out, you take it. Okay. So that's what we're trying to do. And, spring's coming, but I went outside. I took the garbage out yesterday, and I swear to God, it was still winter. So I put my goddamn toque on.
Get that toque on.
Confederacy Dunks toque. Oh, immediately worried. I forgot that it was an anti-itch toque. Thought I was going to be scratching my head like a bear in the woods. But anti-itch, it's fantastic. You won't sweat either. It's just kind of, it's like a magical elixir, but in a toque. So thank you for the support, and we hope you enjoy this show.
Wow. Matty D, always a professional, always coming with weird gems. Scratch my head like a bear in the woods. I guess they do scratch their head. I thought they scratched their back. That's like a thing. Scratching their head specifically.
Well, when they're lost.
Right. Yes. Like, where am I? Scratch your head. I got it. That's it. Yeah. Classic bear lost. They don't use their smell or anything like that. They just scratch their head. This was a really fun pod. We have a comedian, Matt Henry. He's a stand-up I've known since high school. Just an incredibly funny guy. Also, a loud presence at the Raptors games. And, our major regular, Cathryn Naiker, who I do my WNBA, the Pickup WNBA podcast with, which we recorded today as well. Just a fantastic pod. We talk about who we want to and not want to play in the playoffs, who we think should be celebrated at Scotiabank, like the way that the Canadian men's soccer team was. And
Mike Weir when he won.
Mike Weir, bring him out. We talk about the Raptor. No, it's good. And for NBA, we talk about who's getting slept on, and guys like Shai Gilgeous, who are good players and not a great situation, who maybe need rescuing. So we kind of, opine about some of that.
Yeah.
But before we get into this, the last two pods, I've talked about Brittany Griner. So I'll just remind everyone, if that's not something you're familiar with, get familiar with it. It's a really kind of horrible story. She's being used as a pawn in Russia and is facing potential jail time and it's clearly a fraudulent scenario. And I'm not sure what his name was, but there's a guy who won the Oscar for Queens of Basketball, the short doc, which I really want to see as well. And he said, put pressure on Biden, like bring Brittany home. So make sure that's something you're familiar with and care about, because it's a bad situation and we got to be loud about it. Yeah. And with that said, I think we're ready to pod. Let's dive right in there. Matt, if you feel like we're good to go, please give me those delicious words I love so much. Okay. Holy guacamole. Let's do this. Let's get going here. We got a very, very fun pod. It's good times for the Raptors. Like, things are fun. I was at the Boston Celtics game. They didn't bring Brown or Tatum, but we beat them. So you got to play your stars when you play the Raptors. That's one of my favorite things. Let's just bring the guests on. Let's start talking Raptors. Let's start talking NBA as we work our way into the final stretches of the regular season. First, I just did a WNBA podcast with her. It's like a basketball podcast day. She's one of my favorite people in the whole world. Incredible stand-up, incredible writer, incredible basketball personality, and just honestly an incredible person. Give it up as loud as you can, even if you're at home alone, for the one, the only, the Nick Nurse OG lover, Cathryn Naiker.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good. If anyone's watching this on YouTube, and you should be, I am significantly closer to the camera than I normally am. And I don't know why or how, because I haven't changed my setup.
Listen, this is Close Up Cathryn. We just did a podcast together. It was on Zoom. Maybe this is a StreamYard thing where StreamYard's like, let's get in there.
But I've used StreamYard before. I just feel like, look, if anybody just wants some extra like close up of my double chin, or just like what the rest of my face looks like without makeup, like, just feel free to hop on the YouTube for this episode, because you'll see it all.
Folks, she's downplaying her beauty. Cathryn's gorgeous. She got double pink. Got some cool red glasses, nice headphones. Things are good.
Yeah,
Me, on the other hand, some books, a pillow, cabinet. That's what you're getting in the background. But let's bring on guest number 2. He's always a riot, man. I've known this guy for honestly the greater part of my life. He's one of the funniest dudes I know. We went to high school together. An amazing stand-up, great personality. Like, we were joking about how he often finds his way onto the camera in the broadcast, but like, that's how he rolls, and it's legitimate. And he's a master heckler. Like, he finds a role player, he takes him down. I wish he was at the Boston game getting saucy yesterday, and so was I. So I wish I knew that, because he was probably like heckling, Neesmith and Grant Williams, and we'll figure out where he's at. But give it up as loud as you can. Even if you're at home alone, for the stand-up that sits down, comedian Matt Henry.
Oh yeah, back on the pod. Happy to be back. The game last night was good, man. The Raptors did, overtime, little free basketball. Got a little sketchy going into overtime last night, but more basketball the merrier. And I had 2 beers in my hand at the time anyways, so it was a good night. It was a good night of hoops. Nobody was safe, man.
Nobody was safe. It was my first night commuting home, so I was rocking the Jane bus. Things were good. I had a good time. Took me a long time to get home, but things were all right, okay?
Well, you're only going up to Eglinton. Don't act like you're all...
Yeah. Jane and Steele's. Wowza. No. It didn't take me that long to get home. Midtown, what's up? Okay, let's get right into it. Maddie, good sir, you legend of a producer, please give me your weirdest Raptors Sting.
The Toronto Raptors slander out of your fucking mouth.
Wow, Matty D. Oh shit.
Yes.
Okay. We don't
Yes.
often do this. Actually, sometimes I like to just make fun of the Sting and not get any information on it. But Maddie, I need to know who's speaking in that. Is that you? What's going on?
Keep the Toronto Raptors slander out of your fucking mouth.
Okay.
That is
Okay. This is a weirdly.
incredible.
This is what. Okay. Is it? What's the computer element here? Are you editing a voice together?
You can't let people know these secrets.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
You
listen.
know what?
Will Smith was all jacked up after the Oscars. I sent him an Instagram message. I said, "Hey, let's get light about this. Roll with it."
Cool.
And so he just sent me an Instagram recording, and this is where we are.
So after he released his statement on Instagram, he then
Immediately did
messaged
this.
you and did
Great.
this recording.
Yeah.
That adds up. That adds up for sure. And I'm sure, like we spent a lot of money on Cameo with Stephen A. Smith last week.
Yeah.
Or last week.
Oh.
And forget who
Oh.
else. So I hope
Yeah.
this didn't take away from our Cameo budget.
I did spend a little more.
The Toronto Raptors are a good
That-
team. You fucking donkey.
What's that?
Man,
Let's go, Ramsey.
I need some of this Patreon money, bro. What is going on?
Man, I need some of it too.
Hey, what is going on this
Going on?
podcast?
We need some. Maddie
Ah.
is emptying the clip on
Wow.
Cameo over here.
Matt is the most connected person in Hollywood,
My God.
and he has just decided to let us know.
Yeah, Matt is letting us know he's worldwide Matt.
Worldwide.
Wow, good God. Okay, you know what? Let's move on, but just let's all tip our hat. Even if you're by yourself, tip your hat to Matty D. He's going off right
We
now.
need Idris Elba next.
Maddie,
I'll
you have
work
an
on it.
assignment. I want Idris Elba just like selling a new snowblower or something.
Maybe
Wow.
Vin Diesel would be fun because he talks really slow, like
Yeah.
very
That'd be
deep
good.
and very slow.
Yeah, Fast 11, the promo for COD. Okay, I'm gonna go to you first, Mr. Matt Henry, and yeah, we're gonna frame this question. The Raptors are tied for 5th with Chicago right now, but I want to frame this question as if the Raptors are going to avoid the play-in. So we don't need to deal with the whole what are we gonna do in one game against Brooklyn or Charlotte or whatever. I want let's imagine we kind of finish 6th or 5th. So we're likely facing, I don't know, Chicago, Miami, Philly, or Milwaukee. So out of those opponents, you can even eliminate Chicago if you want. It can be the 4 that look like they're going to finish 1-4. Who do you want the most? Who do you not want the most in a series, and why?
Okay, so if the playoffs started right now, they play the Bucks, and I don't want that. I really don't. I think the Bulls are fraudulent, bro. I really do, and they've been losing to good teams, and it's proof. I think I don't want to say all the problems that come with DeMar are gonna shine right now, but that's the problems that the Raptors had with them, and that's playoff time. So I would prefer them to play someone like the Bulls. Really, that's like number one. Everyone else it's kind of shady in that play-in. Maybe there's an upset there, and then you deal with someone from that fallout after. But if we can get that a Bulls first round matchup, I think they'll win.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I wouldn't go as far to say the Bulls are fraudulent because we'll see, right? We'll see. I think DeMar has some low-key pressure on him. Obviously, a guy like James Harden has massive pressure, but I think DeMar is better suited to not, with a guy like Levine, and I'm not sure where Alonzo's at, but I just think they have a more synergy on that team. Defense, I think that team, I think the Raptors dominate Vucevic again in a series if we happen to go up against Chicago. And I think it's sort of like an offense versus defense. And to me, yeah, for sure, that's the team. And actually, sorry, too many thoughts at the same time. Shout out ADHD. That's the team I think I for sure want to play, and I'm totally with you on the Bucks. I think there's this idea where it's like, well, we have a lot to throw at Giannis, and I think that's kind of true, but I also think Giannis would dominate us, and I'd be scared of that. And the Bucks are just a fine-tuned machine, and with Lopez coming back right now, their drop back defense, there's a lot I don't like about playing them. They just won the championship. I know people forget that, but that's my team I don't want to play. Cathryn, I'm going to go to you first, but I wasn't really factoring in Chicago. So I'm going to say this, the other team that I feel like out of those four that I want to play, and, quote unquote, I don't really want to, all these teams are good. I wish we had home court, right? But it's Philly. I think we do a good job on Harden. I think Embiid would dominate, but I think that the collective of the Raptors and our transition, like if our transition offense and defense is going to work against any team, it's Philly, because Embiid struggles to run back and Harden doesn't want to. So I think, for instance, against Boston, that's not happening. Boston's going to get back. They're going to cause us problems. Same with Miami. And definitely same with the Bucks. So Philly's my team that I would like to play. Cathryn, where are you at? Who do you want to play? Who do you not want to play? Are we out of control with this fraudulent Chicago talk?
No, I don't think we're out of control. Why? My face is so close. I can't handle it. I feel like Matt is playing a prank on me.
I swear I'm not.
I swear
Listen,
Matt is
don't
playing
trust
a prank
Matt.
on me. I can't handle it. It was like you cut to me and it was an extreme close-up of my face. I'm so mad at you, Matt. I just feel like you are up to something.
Check us out on YouTube, folks. Subscribe. Close-ups.
Like, did you join Scientology in the last week? That's how you got a hold of Will Smith?
Or maybe I've been with them all along.
You went through all the tests and you're finally like anointed or something, and now it's just extreme close-ups of me and nobody else. Like moving away from my mic. What if I just move my mic and I just physically move further away from this? Oh my god. Okay,
that's good.
Oh, holy hell. But now the mic's pointed at my mouth in like a weird way. All right, here we go. Can you hear? Is this better?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, there's like a 1 second still of me in the mic, and it's not good. Okay, so let's move on. Are the Bulls fraudulent? Well, here's the thing, Freddie. I do think there's a lot of pressure on the Bulls, and I do think there's a lot of pressure on DeMar. Like, I think, because we're Raptors homers, we're all just kind of low key rooting for DeMar. Maybe not everybody, but I do think from like an NBA public conscious perspective, he has a lot to prove in the playoffs, and this is his opportunity to do it.
Agreed.
So we'll see, but I would not be surprised if the Bulls didn't do as well as expected in the first round. They could just be a regular season sweet story. But I don't know, because they had a lot of injuries mid-season, and I haven't seen them like very recently. Like I think they got Caruso back not too long ago. So I haven't seen them since then.
And Patrick Williams, who's the
that's the other one.
Similar to Barnes, same school, same position, same draft number.
Yeah, so I'm not like 100%. I don't really know. They could be fraudulent. I don't think it's like a spicy, hot, outrageous take. With that being said, Freddie, I do agree with you. I think out of all the top 4 teams currently, and I think this top 4, it might shift, but I think these 4 teams are going to be the top 4.
Me too.
The Raptors are 4 games behind right now, and I don't know if there's enough games for everyone else to drop off for us to get into the top 4. I think it's Philly. I think Philly would be the team that we would want to see the most out of these 4. Now, it's not I don't know. I mean, I guess it could happen. I'm just looking at it now. Like the Bucks and Sixers seem tied right now. So yeah, I would root for the Sixers because as great as Embiid is, I agree with all your points about transition. And let's be real, like Harden is only good when he wants to be, and he doesn't consistently care to be good. And I think the Raptors are the type of team he could sleep on. Like I could see him underestimating us, which is good for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Heat are and the Bucks and the Celtics are way too strong right now. Like everybody, last night's game was a lot of fun. But if we're being real, they didn't have 4 of their starters and it went into overtime, and we were otherwise a healthy team minus Kem Birch. So like that does not actually stack up well for us, frankly, if we're facing the Celtics.
I totally agree. I think the Celtics are very real. At that game last night, like I get the foul call thing, but I also feel like, I don't know, I've had this vibe with the Celtics ever since we played them in the playoffs. Like, I know it's a different coach now, but like they get Nurse. They're the team that I feel like understands how to beat the Raptors the most. They punish us when we're over aggressive. I just feel like if we go up against the Celtics, Barnes and Siakam, foul trouble the whole series. And I don't know, there's just a vibe that I feel like the Celtics, they're calm, they're composed. I mean, losing Time Lord, losing Williams, massive loss for them, and I think that's going to hurt their ceiling in the playoffs. But I don't want the Celtics. I mean, these top 4 teams are great, so it will be like a challenge whoever the Raptors play. But I agree, the Celtics are not a team. I mean, earlier in the season, I was like, yeah, whatever. But they've figured it out, and they're really good. Their role players are good. I know that, like, yeah, it took us to overtime to beat them, but they have a talented roster. Like, they draft well, and everyone buys in, and like even got like Pritchard. Like, there's a lot of just like overall kind of talent. Smart.
It's a next man up mentality they have right there. And that's why the game went into overtime like it did. Everyone had jobs. Like it didn't feel like anyone was trying to make up for the fact that that they didn't have stars last night. You know what I mean? It's like they just played their game, and that's what you get. When something like that happens, when you have a team like that. So I agree with you guys. I don't want.
Oh, I think we maybe lost Mr. Matt Henry for a sec there, but we can carry on and he'll rejoin. But I agree with him. It was next man up, and they were professional. But did I cut you off at all, Cathryn?
No.
Yeah. So is Boston your number one? Don't want to play?
No, I think the Miami Heat are my number one. Don't want to play, but mainly for emotional reasons.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
We'll be dead.
Fucking see Kyle Lowry in the first round of the playoffs. Like,
it'd be heartbreaking.
Kidding me? No.
That would be the only team we beat where it would be kind of sad, because we'd be like, oh no, you left us, and then we beat you.
I would not be sad.
Really? Okay, fair.
I would be a ball of emotions. I'd be many emotions, but I wouldn't just be sad.
Well, I also would be pretty happy. Matt Henry, we're back. We just basically said your points were bang on.
Yeah, I could hear you guys. I don't know what happened there. Switching back to the regular camera instead of this plug-in one. Yeah, no, next man up. I don't want to. I would love to play Kyle Lowry. That's the movie, right there.
I mean, the drama, and also let me just say, Nurse versus Spo. That's a big time coach battle.
That's good basketball.
Also, Precious versus Bam. Let's go. Yeah. Chef's kiss.
Every basket is gonna mean something. You know what I mean? Like, anytime someone misses, the hearts are gonna be out of your chest for the entire game. And I do like games like that, but my emotions,
Also,
it's a movie until we're like down 0-2, and then it's like,
well, okay,
or 0-3, and then it's like, oh shoot, maybe this isn't a movie.
Yeah.
I hate that I'm saying this, and I feel like I'm not the only person to say this, but I'm really, this whole year I've been getting like big time Rudy Gay trade vibes, where we just get better as the whole season goes along. And we have a really like magical first round, and like have a tough loss in 7 games. So I'm just getting that vibe. I'm getting the vibe that like this Raptors team has to learn a little bit, but is worth investing.
I'm not getting the Rudy Gay comparison.
Well, sorry. Like, we traded Rudy Gay. We were like on the fringe of tanking, but then we went on this
and then
streak.
we got really good.
We were amazing. We lost to like Garnett, Pierce, Brooklyn Nets, and it was, like
I keep forgetting that was the same year.
Yeah, Lowry got blocked, by Pierce at the buzzer, Game 7. It was just heart wrenching, but also it was cool because we ended up winning a championship like 5 years later. But that's when the seeds were planted that it's like this is real, and I think that this year has that vibe to me. But
right,
yeah, let's keep moving here. Maddie, come on in for this one. We're gonna get perhaps a little bit silly. First of all, shout out to the the Alphonso Davies and the crew. Canada men's soccer team has made the World Cup. It's incredible. And they actually brought them to half court, and we all got to cheer them on at the game. It was really nice. Just a fun feel. Like, I was born in 1986, and I'm pretty sure that's the last time Canada was in the World Cup, and only time. So that's fun. But in the spirit of that, I want to see, who else should we be bringing out to center court? What other Canadian heroes or behind the scenes, or not behind the scenes, but like, who needs to be celebrated in Scotiabank in front of like 21,000 people? Let's go to you first, Cathryn.
Okay, so I have a weird answer.
Love it.
This isn't necessarily a who we should bring out to center court, because technically they're already there. But who should be celebrated more at a Raptors game?
Okay.
It's the halftime entertainment. We sleep on the halftime entertainment all the time. We get our popcorn, we get our drinks, we use the washroom, and front, like, we could just spin like 3 plates at the same time. Like, who are we to sleep on these entertainers? I don't even know what it takes to spin plates in front of a crowd professionally. Like, I don't even know what that trajectory is. Or like, you see all of these like aerobics. You see people, jumping in and out of hoops. We got puppies and babies racing. Like, I never leave when it's halftime. I never leave. I'm like, this is amazing that these people have dedicated so much of their lives to be able to do this for us right now. This
Cathryn,
is not to be dismissed, in my opinion.
You are preaching to the choir here at the Boston game. My buddy Kieran, who's my season seat buddy, we go to 6 games, in normal times, a year together. You should have seen the joy he felt when Simon Says was coming out. He was going crazy. And I always try and pick a quiet moment where I shout out, get a nice laugh for my section. And I got a big one. As soon as that was done, everything got quiet. And I think the guy's name's so funny who does Simon Says. His name's Steve Max. So I yelled, everybody give it up for Steve Max. And I got a big laugh. Felt great. But
wait, can you clarify for me, who is Steve Max and what exactly is he doing?
So he's been a halftime performer for a long time. He does Simon Says, but at like bullet speed.
Do you know him personally?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Never met him, just admire from afar. Like,
okay,
he does he's the guy who's like, hands up, hands down, Simon Says, and he goes really fast and eliminates people. Cathryn, I don't know if you've seen this. Google it if you haven't. This guy's, first of all, he's nuts. Second of all, he's hilarious. And his name's Steve Max. So I don't know. Like, that's just a good time for me. So yeah, I'm all the way with you. Obviously Red Panda is like true legend. And I forget what the guy's name is, but the guy with the little dog, huge. Okay, let's go to you next, Matt Henry. Who needs to be appreciated more? Who do we need to bring out to half court? Or like, Cathryn says, if we are bring them out to half court, like, celebrate them a bit more.
First of all, I really started to realize how drunk I was last night because I do not remember that Simon Max thing at all.
By the way,
so-
Simon Max is a better name than Steve Max somehow.
I have no idea what you're talking about. There have been some bad halftime shows. Not everyone deserves to. I mean,
Wow.
make them particular ones. The Lithuanian halftime show they had that time for Jonas and some Lithuanian appreciation thing. I'm sorry, you don't get a.
You didn't like it? Oh wow! How dare
They-
you? You didn't like
they-
the Lithuanian dancing?
No, I believe it or not, I did not.
How dare
So
you?
not all of them. Magicians, okay.
Hashtag not all halftime
Magician.
performers.
No.
Magicians? Who are you talking about? Magicians?
there have been I've seen some sweet magic shows during those half times. I get that, but no, not everybody.
Wow.
Can
I'm
I
trying to sit through
say I went to the game when Kawhi Leonard returned to Toronto.
Mhm.
And at halftime they got oh my god, why am I blanking? Maestro Fresh West
Mhm.
to perform. And it was really sad. It was really sad. This is like no disrespect to him. It was already a blowout. We were down like so many points at the half, and everybody was just sad about the whole Kawhi thing. And he kept trying to like get the crowd into it, and like nobody was like engaging with him. It was like people were like afraid to make eye contact. Like it was so bad. I felt so bad for him. It was like it felt like the worst open mic I'd ever attended.
Well,
It was so
that
horrible.
says a lot.
Damn.
Cathryn
But
is
he wasn't
certainly-
terrible in and of himself. But it's like he can't. That's just not who you want at halftime. There's just
Cathryn
certain
is-
people you want at halftime.
Cathryn is certainly letting her backbone slide on this one. Let me tell you.
Slide out of this camera angle. Good God.
Hey. Oh wait. So okay. Let's just stay focused here on
And
this
who
one question.
Who has
Henry.
ADD now, Freddie? Who has ADD?
Me
I don't
still.
know. I don't know if we're allowed. But can we unmask the Raptor? Can he come at halftime?
Listen.
You know what I mean? The guy
Wow.
under there, has he been the same guy the whole time?
We don't get
You
to
know what
know
it-
that.
See, like with Kane
This
and
isn't
pro
Man
wrestling,
in the Iron Mask. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, honor this man. You know what I mean? Like Rey Mysterio, but you just take it off one match. You know what I mean? One time, we celebrate all your because he's been doing this for a long time. I'm assuming it's the same guy.
Yeah,
Okay,
didn't he
this
have like
is-
a torn Achilles one year? And
He
then there was
did.
that replacement Raptor.
Yeah, Stripes.
Mask.
We should
Wow.
unmask Stripes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
we
it
just
is
unmask the
replacement
Raptor, but it's Stripes.
And there's your WrestleMania preview, folks.
Huge.
Raptor versus Raptor, and it's an unmasking.
This is good shit.
I'm
And then
ready.
Then the big inflatable Raptor comes in.
That's right.
Pops. Huge. Maddie D, what's up?
Yo.
We've been talking about, like I didn't know it was gonna
Whoa.
go this way, but
I'm
it's gone
sorry.
this way. So
Unmasking the Raptor. I would love to see him actually do one game without the mascot uniform, just a guy running around doing the same thing.
sure, face paint.
And be like,
He
"Is
just
that
keeps the tail.
the-" yeah.
This is good. This is
It's
good.
so
We're getting
weird.
into fetish cosplay territory.
The who I would like honored mid game at a Raptors game. Now it's reaching into the MLSE family, and I think they really need this. Now, you know that I follow the Leafs pretty hard.
Mhm.
Our goaltenders are so sensitive right now. If they let in 2 goals or less, they should be able to go to the next Raptors game and be honored for that. Not even if they win.
Yeah,
But if
they
2
need some
goals
love.
or less, it's a shit show. Like we're putting our goalie on waivers at the trade deadline. We've got a kid who's played like 3 games total now in his career. Another guy's. It's just crazy. We need to give these guys more love because they are not going to get it at Leaf games. So bring over across the hall a couple of these guys, Mrazek and Shalgren, and just give them a solid applause. If they get 2 goals or less. 2 goals or less.
Worst comes to worst, just get them whoa, I'm close now. Get them. I think I did get closer. Let's get them like a nice vacay with James Reimer. at the very least, to be like, here's what it's like. You're not always going to be in Toronto.
Yeah.
That's
There were some whisperings we were going to get him back too, but it
hey,
didn't happen.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
Well, mine is probably less cool than yours, but maybe it's the most cool. I want a sort of shawarma t-shirt style gun. So I want to fire. I want to fire sort of shawarmas right in the audience. You got to have your heads up. You got to be ready to catch it.
How are we honoring and celebrating the shawarma before we do that, though?
Well, that's, you know what? I have some holes in this idea. So for sure, we can maybe it's like, when the Raptors comes out in the curtain and he's like, make some noise. Like the first curtain's like sorta. And then like he gets everyone to clap. And then he goes under and rips the curtain and it's shawarma. And then it's just like everyone like turrets and cannons and like basically like hot lettuce wraps coming at you.
I was going to say, just wait until it's actual hot lettuce day. And then you can honor it then.
When is that? April 2nd?
I think it's like in the dead of summer, but
July 25th, hot lettuce day. Hey, sir, did you order hot lettuce? No, I didn't. Leave me alone. Okay. My own bit totally fell apart.
Is sort of shawarma some sort of not shawarma? Is this a vegan thing?
But you clearly live in the hundreds Raptor section. You need to take a trip up to the 300s, take a walk around, find sort of shawarma, grab yourself a shawarma, and figure out what's the.
So it is shawarma.
There's a shawarma in there,
sorta.
But I get Matt's question because it's like sorta shawarma sounds like it's not really shawarma,
and that's what it is. It's not really shawarma.
But what is it
patty.
then?
Half beef patty.
What?
Yeah.
Listen, sort of shawarma. There's too much going on.
You mean instead of like a cocoa bun, it's a pita? Like
That's right. That's exactly right. And there's lettuce in there. It's piping hot. So
hot lettuce. Why would we want hot?
No one wants it. Okay.
And you're gonna put that in a gun and shoot it at me?
And I mean, it's like when you go to paintball or something, and then there's those hardcore people who've like changed their guns so it goes faster.
Just like flaking on everybody.
I want these sort of shawarmas to fire like fast. This is like light a fire on a speaker style. Like, you know what? Let's honor the speaker. Lower it and light the whole thing on fire. We'll have a Burning Man style thing with the speaker.
Are they wrapped?
Like they're wrapped.
Bro, you can't just throw food at me like that. And
yeah, you can.
You know what I mean?
I'm not throwing. I'm shooting.
That's the question.
I'm not Chris Rock, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're not slapping me and walking off, brother.
Listen,
and you're not with sort of nothing. Bro,
I mean, that's the real issue. Is that
if
Will
I could
Smith
catch
didn't
a
have a
shawarma, I'll catch a shawarma. But don't just
catch a shawarma. See if you can handle the hot lettuce, though. You know what I mean?
I'll try.
Or maybe they fired and there's a little parachutes for shawarma.
It's a good contest idea. Catch the shawarma.
Catch the shawarma. Stay for the lettuce. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk some NBA. Matty D, good sir, fire up your weirdest, and I think you probably got some new cameos. NBA Sting.
I don't like balls. I don't like anything of the kind. But he is some NBA talk.
Wow. Okay, that sounds like Kate Blanchett, I guess.
No, I'm guessing Dame Judi Dench.
Very good.
Oh, I'm 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I didn't catch exactly what she said.
Yeah, what did she say?
I don't like balls. I don't like anything of the kind. But he is some NBA talk.
She doesn't like balls. She doesn't like anything balls. She doesn't like balls. She doesn't like anything of the kind. But here's some NBA talk.
Is that from Cats? I've never seen Cats. Does she say that in Cats?
She's talking about a ball of yarn and cats like that. Yeah, that is it.
Okay, cool. Is that when Idris Elba rips off his coat and he's like, "Is that cat naked?"
It's actually from Cats.
No,
that cast was so big. I'm like, she could have been in Cats.
I just asked her. I said, "Can you do a little plug for the NBA segment?" And she goes, "Oh, I don't like balls. Is this basketball? I don't like balls."
And you were already recording her?
Yeah. I was like, fuck, I only have 10 seconds I can record. I got to make it count.
Matty D, I'm so happy that you secretly record all these celebrities. That's sick. Okay. Let's
Is it from the movie Notes on a Scandal?
No.
I
Oh.
think Matt's editing this. He has some weird voice pro. I don't think these are real things. Is she a dame? I don't know. Is Matt finding real audio? I don't think so. Okay. I'm going to you first, Matt Henry. So this is the second year in a row that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is just looking incredible while also playing for a team that is clearly trying hard to lose. They tanked as hard as they could last year. They lost out in the lottery, didn't get Barnes. They drafted behind the Raptors. This is the really, in my opinion, ugly side of tanking, when you're just sort of trying to spin assets without a plan and you're wasting really good players' careers. So that got me thinking, like, I feel like a lot of people could agree, like, that's someone, he needs to be rescued from his scenario. I want to see that guy on a good team. But, who else out there it needs to be relocated, needs a different situation based on where they are?
It's LeBron James, bro. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, damn,
it does suck.
He's hooping, and the Lakers are not good. I was at that Laker Raptor game though, where Russell Westbrook decided to finally play, but
never play again,
dude. What are they doing for this guy right now? And he's about to be in the play-in. You know what I mean? They're almost out altogether. So I mean, does he shut it down? Do they? So they only got a couple games left. So him and maybe there's your obvious answers like Damian Lillard. What's going on over there? But is loyalty is that gonna cost him an opportunity to get anything? But yeah, my answer is LeBron James.
No, I think it's good. I mean, I'm sure some people would argue it's sort of self-inflicted as far as like the way he's not the GM, but he has big sway.
Sure.
Traded a lot of young talents who are all doing, I'd say, very well, right? I mean, like, whether it's like, Randall, Ingram, Ball, Russell, like, those are players that he could be playing with. But they got Anthony Davis. They won the chip, but Anthony Davis is often injured, and then you got Russell, and but yeah, he's balling. So he's sort of doing on the court what he's supposed to be doing. He somehow managed to stay healthy. His ankle's clearly messed up. I definitely am like, team witness. I love LeBron. I want to see him, deep in the playoffs. I know he's tortured Raptors with the, LeBronto. I'm happy we now have California, but still, it's like, you want to see LeBron doing his thing. And
life is better when LeBron is good, and honestly, the Warriors when they're good and the Lakers are good, like that's basketball. Like that's the best time to watch it.
Yeah, I think that's really fair. It's good. It's good entertainment, and I mean, yeah, people are going to look back at this Lakers tenure and be like, didn't make the playoffs, won the championship, made the play-in, got smoked by the Suns, and then, are in the play-in again. Like, pretty unsuccessful, except, you won the championship, so that's pretty great. Yeah. Cathryn, who's your rescue candidate?
I have a bit of an unusual pick.
Okay.
But I'm going with Jakob Poeltl.
Oh, no, I like that. That's good.
Jakob Poeltl is a very solid role player. He's almost averaging a double-double this year with 13.5 points and 9.3 rebounds. That's his averages this season. I think he could be a great contributor on a championship team. And also, just how fun would it be to be able to say NBA champion Jakob Poeltl? He's already very iconic. We just need to add champion to his name.
He is, he's got his own game. Poeltl. There's Wordle, there's Hurdle, and there's Poeltl. So shout out to the man. Poeltl's a great candidate for this. Lillard was sort of mine, but I was kind of wrestling between like Lillard and Beal. And then, I'm a little bit stuck, but I think the guy that I'm actually feeling the most, and this might come as a surprise to some, but it's painful for me to see JV balling out this whole season, and them not get Zion. I know they got McCollum.
I also thought about JV as well.
I just he's a really good player, and like I think I was obviously very pro Gasol trade, still am, but he's someone who I think has worked hard and he's got himself to a good point in his career, and I would love to see him on a team that is like a really good team. And I feel like he's the type of guy that could lessen his role. He could do what he's a very do what the team needs type guy. Sabonis was my other guy like anyone that goes to Sacramento, I'm like, please rescue this man.
Yeah. I also thought about saying the entire Sacramento Kings, but I think a few of those players can stay there. A lot of the Sacramento Kings need to be saved. That franchise needs to be saved.
Yeah.
I'm with you on JV. And you know what? I personally think he's a more versatile player than he gets credit for. Like, I think he's seen as somebody who like clogs the paint too much and stuff. And I'm like, this guy can very much spread the floor, and he does have an outside shot. And I don't know why he has this reputation that he does clog the paint and that you can't win with him, or I don't know what it is. Like, I don't I mean, Memphis has been great this year, but I think they would have been great with JV on the team. Like, I don't know if they needed it. They only traded for Steven Adams because they didn't want to pay him. And I'm just like, why doesn't anyone want to pay this guy? Like, he is really good.
Yeah, I think like the one thing I feel with JV that is still there, but he's really improved in this category too, is when you're a center, defend, and people say it about Towns too, right? Like, defending the pick and roll is your main job, and he's always a step slow, and guys score easily on him. And when you have a center,
okay, that's fair,
that is like that, it kind of it really caps your defense. But he has improved there, and also, he's not like Nikolai Vucevic or something. Like, he's like strong, and he's like incredible. I mean, Vucevic is strong too and a good rebounder, but like JV is like league leading style rebounder, and also I think his he doesn't like have a lack of toughness or anything. So I feel like he's one of those guys who won't stop improving. He won't stop getting smarter. But yeah, his offense is so incredible, and his rebounding is so incredible. And I do totally agree. He has a lot more versatility than he gets credit for. Even his screen setting is fantastic.
He's a traditional center, man. And I think that's what's the scary thing, and why people may not want to necessarily pay him, just because with the way the direction of the league is moving, it's not really caters to his style of game. Like, he's getting better, obviously, but the things he has to get better at, guys his size are a lot better at. You know what I mean? Like, if Embiid's like the obvious, I guess, comparison, like top center, but he can do everything. And like you said, Embiid's faster. You know what I mean? Like, he's not as quick as he. It's the style. It's that's what's, I think, keeping people from wanting to pay him a lot of money.
Right.
All right, let's stick with you, Matt Henry. Pick one team from either conference. Who's like a playoff / play-in team that people are sleeping on? Like, who's going to be I don't want to say a surprise in the playoffs, but who do you think is going to have a decent or good playoff run, or be a tough out that people are not talking about?
People are talking about. I think Memphis is really good, man. I think they're going to have a really good showing, and I would like to see the Hornets get in there. I think they're a great team. Every time I see Hornets highlights, they're slam dunking basketballs. You know what I mean? LaMelo is a great player.
They're exciting, man. They're really exciting.
So I wouldn't mind having the Hornets, balled out a little bit.
Yeah, I think Hornets are a great pick. They're definitely like all offense, but also like that's fun, right? There's teams that are all defense, and I mean, like every once in a while you watch a Hornets game, it's like, are they up by like 60? This is crazy. Like, they have this like propensity to just like
Yep.
Like, I feel like the Raptors don't have much of a killer instinct, but I feel like the Hornets do. And
Very
it's
true.
almost like the Raptors are like more steady, but the Hornets have this thing where it's like they smell blood or whatever, or like, I
Yeah.
don't know, what do Hornets eat? Other bees? Okay, that analogy fell apart.
Do
I was gonna say the Hornets
you
smell.
need a birds and the bees lesson?
I was gonna say Hornets want honey, but I'm like, wait, do Hornets have honey? So sorry.
Oh my God.
Listen, if you are a Hornet or bee expert, please call me. I'm in urgent need of some education. Cathryn, who is your team?
I want to see that episode of National Geographic.
Just-
Hornets eating other hornets.
Hey man.
Oh man. All right. So my pick, okay, in terms of teams that we're sleeping on, I think it's the Denver Nuggets because the Denver Nuggets have had a great season considering massive, really bad injuries to two of their top 3 players. And I think they have more depth than people give them credit for. And currently they're 6th in the West, and they would, if the playoffs started today, they would face the Golden State Warriors. And the Warriors have been struggling lately without Steph Curry, and it could be a serious first round upset. Like this could be huge. Like they could actually knock out the Warriors. If Steph isn't back. And I don't when I first read up on his injury, it said he was out indefinitely. Like there was no timetable for his return, and I don't know if that's been updated. I didn't get to look that up before we started today, but yeah, like if Steph is not back, that could be a serious first round upset.
Great choice. And I feel like, anytime the Golden State Warriors, like, or, when they have lost, it's like if Steph has rolled an ankle or is a step slow, it just kind of prevents him from being the explosive player that he needs to be. And, getting that extra space for shooting. So, but yeah, Denver Nuggets, like it's sort of like the MVP narrative is always weird, but I feel like there was some Jokic fatigue, and it was kind of like Embiid versus Jokic, but it seems like Jokic is really starting to edge him out.
Yeah.
Let me just have a quick look, but I think that, the record conversation is sort of moot because
they're about the same.
They're about the same record, right? So like the Nuggets have a 592 win percentage, and the Sixers, Sixers are a little bit up, 622. So that's significant. But yeah, like Jokic is amazing. Porter Jr. might return, and also Murray, right? So those are like massive additions.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna return for the playoffs or not, but yeah, that would be huge. I mean, it's so hard to I don't know if there's been a precedent set for somebody missing an entire season like Murray has. I mean, he's missed a whole calendar year of basketball, right? And Porter Jr. went out at the beginning of this season. For them to come back in the playoffs, I don't know if there's a precedent for that.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. So for me, I'm kind of torn. Like I don't have an exact team. I kind of think the Suns, in some respect, are just bulldozing the league and have the eye of the tiger, like we lost in the finals.
Yeah.
I think the Bucks, people are maybe a bit bored of, but could win the championship again. And the other teams I have, so the Jazz are I think my real answer, because I think the Jazz are good, and it's sort of this thing where Gobert has to prove that he can be a bigger impact player in the playoffs for people to care. But the team's well constructed and they are good. Mitchell, if healthy, is like a total star in the playoffs. So I think you shouldn't totally sleep on the Jazz. Maybe it's the fact that they're going to go up against Luka that people are I don't know.
Well,
about that.
I personally, I think that it's a do or die year for the Jazz this season.
Definitely.
If they don't get out of the second round, which I think is kind of likely, but if they don't get out of the second round, Quinn Snyder's gone. There's already rumors that he's going to go to LA and replace Vogel on the Lakers. It's that's so wild that that's already a rumor, because it's no one's been fired yet, but that's a rumor. I mean, yeah, I think I'm with you in that the pressure is on the Jazz and they have a lot to prove, and they've been through that. Okay, we've lost in the playoffs and we've still kind of regrouped and we know who we are kind of thing that you see a lot of other teams go through, and then they're able to get past that. Like the Bucks lost in the playoffs a few years in a row, and then they were finally able to break through. Right. So the Jazz could have that going for them, but they could easily not. They're interesting for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Jazz definitely have some sort of like deficiencies that will, they have to overcome. But that's sort of my angle, right? I think they're this team that could overcome. But folks, buddies, that does it for the pod. This was a really, really fun, silly episode. I really appreciate you both. Let me just shout out, everyone who's been sharing and posting about the podcast and whatever, subscribing, like all that stuff matters and it all helps and it's all appreciated. So thank you. And let me go to you first, Cathryn. What's up? What do you want people to know about? We'll obviously post your socials, but what's going on?
Yeah, so my NBA pod, Buckets and Tea NBA shows available on Raptors Republic. Freddie and I do a WNBA pod called The Pickup. We'll have a new episode out this week with Brittany Griner updates and other WNBA updates. And outside of basketball stuff, my episode of Son of a Critch airs tonight, written by myself. So you can catch that on CBC Gem.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. And good times.
Hell yeah. Follow Cathryn, support Cathryn. Watch Son of a Critch. It's doing well.
Watch a show about people in Newfoundland from the 1980s. Very relatable content for us millennials.
100%. 1980s, Big Rock. Let's go.
Yes.
Mr. Matt Henry, what's up? Where are you sitting down next?
That's a good question. So I'm all over the place, stand-up wise. So if you want to keep up, I gotta check my calendar too. Actually, go to check me out on Facebook, facebook.com, comedian Matt Henry. That's where all my stuff is. So as I know, you'll know. I got things coming down the pike. It's I'm excited. So follow me on Facebook and you'll get all that stuff.
Hell yeah. Find this dude. He's hilarious. Like always makes me laugh. Always comes with the goods. And that's it for the pod. It was a fun one. Thank you again. Maddie D, if you feel like we're done, please give me those beautiful send-off words. Okay.
Toronto Raptors, who's their mascot, Fred Flintstone.
Wow. Is that Gilbert Godfrey?
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Sonar Network. Sonar!